weekly one-shot recording attempt. I'm hoping this is going to be a whole lot smoother. And since I mentioned I already recorded the weekly one-shot, why are we here then? And the answer to that is... vengeance. So this is a new game mode that was added 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time approximately on Friday, so yesterday. And basically what this is, it's a team mode for the villains. So we're going to end up fighting all 5 of them here, but before we do that, there's something else you need to know. So if you look here, nothing different. I mean, Choke Point is the new villain because of the mini-pack. But if you go all the way over here, lo and behold, we have 4 new heroes. And you can actually argue 7 here because of the Sentinels, but the important thing is, you can also add setback to this. So, total of 5 for this whole Vengeance expansion. Now, Knife, Naturalist, and Sentinels all do have their own variants that can be unlocked. And I have to warn you, Naturalist's variant is kinda OP. Now, on the topic of OP, a while ago I mentioned Captain Cosmic could do that whole infinite loop thing. They fixed that thing. If you knew what you were doing, you could actually just end a game with Captain Cosmic alone. And like I thought, his power should not have multiple instances active on one turn. So that should be remedied, and hopefully Naturalist isn't in a similar situation with his. But anyway, in case you're wondering, Knife is Complexity 1. These are relatively straightforward. The complex ones would probably be Parse, Sentinels, and, well, Setback is all block, let's face it. Sentinels can be a little complex, as can Parse. So we have Knife, the Agent of Filter. So she's supposed to be affiliated with Filter, the people on the block, just in case you're wondering. She has a Nemesis tag, but I don't know who this is. They're not currently in the game. I don't know if they're going to be added with Oblivion or villains in the Multiverse, but with this expansion, we're closer to being completely done, believe it or not. Her ability is Energy Lance, deal 1 target 2 energy damage, and like I said, Complexity 1. On the flip side, you can see Citizen Dawn has her dealt with. 1 hero may use a power, 1 player may play a card, destroy an outgoing card. And then, if you want to see her foil art, which is pretty nice. I think I prefer the foil a little bit more. And here's her inverse side. Instead of Citizen Dawn, she's fighting Progeny. Otherwise, all the other text is still the same, don't worry. For the Naturalist, he's Complexity 2, but he's pretty straightforward. It's just, if you want to maximize his DPS and utility, you have to do a little bit of trickery. So if you're not familiar, if I were to explain how Knife is, like, comic-wise, she is your government agent type. Just from appearances, I want to say she's kind of based off of Black Widow because of the black hair, kind of how the bodysuit is. But she isn't really into intrigue, she's more into just raw pain. Naturalist, on the other hand, is kind of similar to the hero Vixen from DC. Now, unlike Vixen, who can channel any animal, he can only channel 3, the goat, the rhino, the gator. And that comes into play for his power here. So his power transforms, search your deck or trash for a form, one of these 3 cards, and put it into play. Really that simple. On his flip side, you can see he's being impaled by Deadline. I also forgot to point out, this is Deadline's Nemesis. So his is already in there. We can do a Nemesis battle probably for next week because I'm going to be busy this week. And in case you're wondering, I'm going to do Vengeance in this video, and the video coming out tomorrow will have the new guys. So search your deck or trash for a form, put in... Oh yeah, I already read that. So 1 hero may use a power, destroy an ongoing card until the start of your next turn. Hero targets are immune to damage from environment targets. So I don't know if you're thinking what I'm thinking, but like places like Atlantis where they will hammer everything, Naturalist will give you a pretty sizable advantage. Oh yeah, his foil. And in case you're wondering what his variant ability is, basically you put the form of your choice's power into play. So you can actually have, like, Rhino out, and then you can use his power to activate Gator until the end of your next turn. And then his cards have different effects based on what animal is being used. So, Basically, you can have 2, even 3 forms out if you know what you're doing. So, lots of power. And his art is pretty nice. And here his Rhino form is Mutant's Maker from something or another, I guess. As for parse, we have our Hacker Archer unit thing. So in case you're wondering what all the digits and coding in the background is supposed to be, she's supposed to be a hacker of sorts, or at least able to do extreme calculations in her head. And if you recognize her Nemesis symbol, this is the Nemesis of misinformation. So at long last, Parse has entered the scene. Now, I think it'd be pretty nice to do a Nemesis battle there, since misinformation is pretty despised. Now, she's marked as complexity 2, I guess that's kind of accurate. But if you want to just use her as a damage unit, she's pretty solid nonetheless. So she deals 1 target 2 projectile damage, and you've probably seen her art on a few other cards up till now. I believe there's Skyscraper, one of her cards, like Hitch a Ride or something like that, has parse. And every now and then. But overall, pretty solid damage. I mean, compared to Chrono Ranger, she does twice the damage, and it's the same time. And here's her flip side, where apparently she's overrun with the information or possessed by Omnitron or something. I don't actually know. Now, there's supposed to be a code inside of her eyes. OBLIVAEON. Oblivion. The final expansion. So it's possible he could have overrun her. And it is written in Elite, so unfortunately if you don't like that, you probably won't make it out. 1 player may draw a card, shuffle trash in a deck, reveal the top card of the villain deck, then replace it. And her foil. Unfortunately, I like this side better. And overall, this one's a little bit cooler than this one, I'd say. But I don't know if that's just me. And then the Sentinels. This is kind of interesting. Hopefully I can actually show you all 4 of them. So, neat card, right? So at the start of the game, you put all 4 of the Sentinels in play. Dr. Medico, Mainstay, the Idealist, Wraith. And even though the card says the Sentinels, people make a big deal out of pointing out that they are supposed to be the Southwest Sentinels. They're supposed to be regional groups. This is the group for the Southwest. And then if you don't have any hero targets in play, you flip the card. So, since there are 4 Sentinels, there are 4 powers here. 1 hero gains 2 HP, Dr. Medico. 1 player may play a card. I believe this is the Idealist. 1 player may draw a card. I don't know if that would be Mainstay and then destroy an ongoing. That might be Mainstay and Wraith would be the draw card. So, pretty interesting card, don't you think? What's that? You want to see the Sentinels? So here's Dr. Medico. His power is MD. 1 hero target regains 3 HP. Now, I don't know if this is exclusive to the Sentinels or not, but as you can imagine, this gives him some pretty strong synergy with Scholar and even some of the heroes that damage themselves. So, Doc is pretty solid. And eventually he will have his own hero card when he's in the Void Guard. But for now, he is here. And if you notice the Nemesis icon here, I believe the Sentinels... Or wait, they do have one. Their Nemesis is the Crackjaw crew, which isn't in here yet. And then when flipped, he doesn't do anything. Because you have to remember, you're referring to the card before this. Then you have Mainstay. His power is Block. Until the start of your next turn, reduce damage dealt to the Sentinels by 1, so just these 4 heroes. And on his flip side, there's nothing. Then we have the Idealist, the kid of the group. Now, I don't know if it's her Void Guard. Actually, yeah, it'd have to be her Void Guard card. Where she's actually dressed up like a Power Ranger, I believe. You'll have to wait a little while to see that, but believe me, it's kind of interesting. Her power is Telekinetic Jab. She deals 1 target 2 psychic damage. This is pretty handy for guys that are weak to psychic, and if you're wondering who that would be in particular, Proletariat. Unfortunately, she has the lowest HP out of any hero in the game, so she's going to be going down pretty quickly, I'm afraid. By the way, if you didn't notice the Southwest Sentinels, they have half the HP of normal heroes. And when flipped, you can see she is falling apart. Literally. Then you have Wraith. His ability is Extract. Reveal the bottom card of a deck, discard it, or put it on top of that deck. So this is pretty handy for setting up Santa guys and a couple others. All in all, decent card. And then when he flips, nothing. So going back to our original card, here's your foil. Sorry if you were expecting more. Doc Medico. And his reverse. So I assume this is supposed to be like one of the Aeneid members, but I'm not entirely sure. I haven't actually seen the Crackjaw crew, I just looked up what the symbol was, so I can't comment if that's a member. Mainstay. Overall, this looks a lot more upbeat than this one. And when flipped, it's not going well for him. The Idealist. Overall, hers is better, I'd say. Real degree from college. And here you have Wager Master posing as Sigmund Freud. And Wraith. Overall, his, I'd say, is an improvement just because we'd seen more of him. So, unfortunately, I don't know his backstory to make sense of this. But these are your more, well, they're complicated, I'll put it like that. And they have a variant, the Adamant Sentinels. There's supposed to be a mechanic in play so we can actually mix and match. You can have like a normal Dr. Medico, Void Guard Mainstay, Void Guard Idealist, and normal Wraith. It complicates things, yes, but that's kind of how this game goes. So with those 4 new heroes, the game tomorrow is going to feature these 5 against Chokepoint. But in the meantime, there will be vengeance. So I'm going to read their cards after I have them set up. So, Baron Blade. Hopefully he needs no introductions. At the start of the game, he enters play this side up. He will play Genetically Fused Physique instead of his defense platform. Oh, that's right. Cards are revealed from the top of the villain deck until a device is revealed, put into play. Other revealed cards are returned to the deck. It's shuffled. At the end of the turn, he hits the guy with the lowest HP and himself for 2 melee damage. If you're wondering the significance of the 2 melee damage, the Genetically Fused Physique will heal him, so yeah. And he has a massive amount of HP for Vengeance mode. When flipped, at the start of the turn, Baron Blade deals his villain turn. Each hero target deals itself 1 toxic damage. So just keep that in mind for guys who have counterattacks such as Wraith or Ra, I believe. They can hurt themselves. But with Ra, you actually can negate his by using Imbued Fire and Flame, or Flesh of the Sun God. So yeah, you don't actually have to worry about that then. Ermine. Oh, right. In case you weren't aware, Baron Blade is the Nemesis of Legacy. Then you have Ermine, Nemesis of the Wraith. So if you remember Wraith is based off Batman, here is the Catwoman equivalent, Conar's Extraordinaire. So she enters this side up, Constant Prowl will be put into play. At the end of her turn, the top card is revealed. If it's a one-shot, it goes into play. If not, it's discarded. She deals the hero target with the second lowest HP 2 melee damage. Then on advanced mode, she blows up your crap. When flipped, at the start of Ermine's turn, discard the top 2 cards of each hero deck. You have Friction, the Nemesis of Tachyon, if the whole art here didn't clue you in. At the start of the game, she enters this side up. You put Shock Dampeners and Stolen Gear into play. Villain deck is shuffled. So she uses a powered suit in order to keep up with Tachyon. I guess this is supposed to be like a reference to the whole Velocity 9 drug from Flash. If you're not aware from the comics, that was used by the Rival, I believe, so that you could keep up with Jay Garrick's speed. And the thing is poison. It gradually hurts you. And as you may have guessed, if her shock dampeners are out of the way, she'll start blowing herself up with her speed. So at the end of her turn, she deals the hero target with the highest HP 1 melee damage. On advanced mode, she takes less damage, which is important because, like I said, she blows herself up. And then this is supposed to be like the Velocity 9 out of control or something, I guess. Or she's supposed to be rapidly aging, something or another. I don't really know how her suit works. You have to remember, the lore to the games are not really recorded yet. So you have to sack an ongoing re-equipment card at the start of her turn. Fright Train. So in case you're wondering, this is the dude that's in Freedom 6 Bunker's armor. He is Bunker in the Iron Legacy timeline. And as such, he is the Nemesis debunker here. He's the one-track warrior, massive amount of HP. Now you may be saying, compared to normal villains, that's not really a lot. Vengeance mode, it is. So at the start of the game, Fright Train enters one track side up, he puts engine of destruction into play, that increases damage dealt and received. At the end of the turn, he deals the hero target with the highest HP 3 melee damage. He hurts. And then on advanced mode, he deals even more damage. So you can see when flipped, you have your new guys keeping him down, Naturalist, Setback, Knife. Here with the highest HP deals themselves 2 toxic damage. Once again, Rock can effectively neutralize this if you use him. And then we have Proletariat, the Nemesis of Absolute Zero. He is your communist Red Scare themed villain here. You can see he has the sickle on his shirt and he is wielding the hammer. At the start of the game he enters the Everyman side up. 2 villain cards named Proletariat are put into play, deck is shuffled. However, he'd be dealt non-psychic damage that's sent to the clone with the lowest HP. At the end of this turn, this card deals the hero target with the highest HP 2 melee damage. On advanced mode, he'll put an extra clone from trash into play. So if you didn't notice what his power is, if it ties into his low HP, he copies himself. So if you ever see the art from Legacy's Lead from Above, you'll notice he's surrounded by Proletariats, and there are a couple other cards where he appears. That's a reference to his cloning ability. And yes, each clone he puts out will hit you, but the clones also damage him. The problem is, like Suzaku from Yu Yu Hakusho, this is a kind of old anime, so if you might not be aware of, he can cannibalize the clones to heal himself. If you're not familiar with the anime, Suzaku could split into 7 copies of himself, and then once he was wounded, he could absorb the 7 to heal himself. No, absorb the 6. Then he could copy himself immediately and be fully healed. So at the start of his turn, he shuffles the hero trash with the most cards into it in its associated deck. So if you didn't get this, this is basically a big screw you to Tachyon. So if you're wondering what team we're going to be wielding to take this on, let's do a Nemesis battle. So we need Legacy, Wraith, Tachyon, Bunker, Absolute Zero. Now, I want to use Freedom 6 Absolute Zero. I'm going to use normal Bunker. You should never use his power unless you absolutely have to. If you're not familiar for Vengeance mode, the average game is going to last 3 to 4 turns. This is basically a damage race. You are not going to really set up. It's just you want to take them down before they take you down. And for environments, if you notice I was trying to marginalize this a bit. Lo and behold, we have 2 new environments. Freedom Tower, Complexity 2, and Molten Defense Platform, Complexity 2. Now, unfortunately, I am not familiar with either one of these, so we're going to have them fight in Freedom Tower. And we'll be dealing with Choke Point, Molten Defense Platform. So, at long last, I am done rambling. Let's begin. Oh, yeah. Flex and pose for us, America's hero. You shall fall before the might of Baron Blade at his finest. You may fool your followers into fighting for you, but you cannot prevail. So notice the music. The music that's playing is determined by the order of the villains here. So this was explained on the live stream Tuesday. Each one of them has a different sound, and by rearranging them you get different things. So there's supposed to be a rhythm, a harmony, a lead, and then 2 backups. In this case, they're the backups just because they're the... or no, I don't know how it would be. Usually it's supposed to be the last 2, but Ermine was 2nd, she was 3rd, 4th, 5th, so I'd say these are the backups. So before we actually start, I'll show you Freedom Tower. As you imagine, this is an environment that kind of favors the heroes. The various places are rooms, and the rooms convey various advantages for the most part. Now, the thing is, you have entry points happen where Fright Train literally busts through the wall. You put this on a room card. If there are no room cards in play, you play the top card of the deck, you put this back in the deck. The card under this card has no text because the room has been breached, and the villains will deal more damage. Now, I'll just have to show the decks. I have to start this. So they're just going to play Fuse Physique. He takes less damage and he heals at the end of the turn. Oh my god, he played the Impulsion Beam. constant prattle. Shock dampers and stolen gear. Engine of destruction. Proletariat clone. Notice it says clones here, that's how you can kind of tell them apart. Old tricks, new allies. This is really bad. So everyone has to sack a card. I'm gonna get rid of this one. Oh hell, if I got to choose I should have looked. I thought everyone had to. Argentium. I'll explain. Hero target with the highest HP takes 4 melee damage. That's Legacy, plus 1 for Engine of Destruction. Every man's strength. So if you notice their decks are half the size as normal. They're usually 40 card decks, but here in Vengeance mode they're only 20 cards. So now to go over their setup, here it's going to be kind of messy, but you can organize them by clicking on the villain itself. So, -1 damage taken, +2 healing, end of turn. Impulsion Beam is so freaking annoying. Each player cannot play more than 1 hero card per turn. Each hero cannot use more than 1 power per turn. Like, if nothing else, this helps you realize that the mode is nothing more than a damage race. Now, you have Nemesis cards in here because not every hero has a Nemesis in Vengeance mode. So this is to serve as the Nemesis of Expatriate. It's Citizen Slash. This guy is supposed to be a follower of Expatriate's mother, Citizen Dawn, I guess. If he goes into play, he has the HP, he does different stuff. And there's quite a few Nemesis here. Empyreon for Captain Cosmic. Each villain has one. Here we have Omnitron 3, aka Omniblade. He's the nemesis of Omnitron X, as you may have guessed. We have Rune, he's the nemesis of Argent Adept. From time to time you will see him, there's art with him playing a guitar, which is kind of supposed to be a reference to the whole instrument thing. And then the last nemesis here is Zhulong. As you may have guessed, Mr. Fixer. Now as for Ermine, I actually want to switch over to her so you can see constant prattle. Discard the top card of each deck at the end of your turn. This is actually good for setting up Tachyon because you get extra burst cards in the trash. We have Calypso, Nemesis of Ra, Equity, Nemesis of Naturalist, Tantrum, a Nemesis of Skyscraper, and the Seer, Nemesis of Fanatic. And now, the Seer is actually a decent card to have out on the field. He will deal 2 infernal damage, but the thing is, if you have Fanatic here, hero targets are immune to damage from hero targets. So all the self-damage from like Baron Blades reverse side, Fright Train's reverse side, nullified by the Seer. And if you're wondering why it's like this, that's supposed to nullify a couple things like Tachyons, pushing the limits. There are a few guys that damage themselves. Night Mist can. Basically guys who damage themselves to deal more damage and stuff like that. But she is extremely annoying. At the end of her turn, destroy 1 hero ongoing and 1 equipment card. But if at least 1 card is destroyed, let's take it out. Move 1 hero card front to the top of the deck, equipment are ongoing. Ermine is friggin' annoying. Here we have Friction. She's immune to lightning damage while the shock dampers are out, which is why you don't always want to bring Tempest here. Stolen Gear, at the end of her turn, play the top card of Friction's deck. So these are basically her version of the Hug Goggles. And then she has Argentium on the field already, the Nemesis of Guys. Target still damaged by this card, not deal damage until the start of Friction's turn, which is pretty bad. Luckily it's only 1 damage, so if you can find a way to mitigate that, it's not that bad. And then I wanted to show her deck for her Nemesis here. You have Highbrow, Nemesis of Parse. Revenant, Nemesis of Setback. And then I should have pointed out, these Nemesis, while they say this, they only do extra stuff if their Nemesis is present. So if Setback isn't here and he's not, this guy just increases damage dealt by the villain target with the highest HP. Nothing fancy. Tempo, Nemesis of Haka, and that's it because she already has one on the field. Engine of Destruction, increased damage dealt and taken. For his deck, he has Choke, or familiar to anyone? But yeah, this is the initial form of Choke Point. So at the end of the turn, destroy one hero equipment card. If Knife is active in the game, increase damage dealt by hero target, or reduce damage dealt by hero targets. Luckily, she only has 5 HP because if that's out, you gotta take her down immediately. This is a damage race. Major Flame, Nemesis of Visionary, villain ongoings are indestructible. Mangrove, Nemesis of Night Mist. It just heals itself, it's not really that bad. And then you have the Crackjaw crew. These are the Nemesis of the Sentinels. I believe they have their own card too, but I'm not 100% on that. Increase damage dealt by this card by 1 for each active member of the Sentinels, so that can be a +4. They can be pretty dangerous. And then Proletariat. So Ermine's Strength. Increase melee damage dealt by Proletariat with the highest HP by X, where X is equals 7 minus number. Oh, shit. Okay, I can use the Heroic Interception to mitigate most of this. Then his clones. At the start of the turn, Proletariat card, these cause Proletariat to deal himself psychic damage. At the end of the turn, they deal the hero target the highest HP 2 melee damage. And he has a few of these in his deck. He has 6 of them. So defensive formation, reduce damage dealt based on the number of Proletariats. Doc Tusser, Nemesis of Chrono Rancher, dude without a nose apparently. Hermetic, Nemesis of the Scholar. You can see he has some sort of... That's not quite a Philosopher's Stone, but I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. Looking for the card, what's this one? Destroy all clone cards. Proletariat gains 3 HP for each card destroyed this way, regardless of how much HP is on the clone. This is friggin' annoying. And then he plays the top card of his deck just to keep going. You have the Radioactivist, Nemesis of Unity. So this is supposed to be the dude on the volatile parts art, I believe. And if you notice, it goes for the cards with the lowest HP, so it's aiming for Raptorbot and Bebot. You have Victor, Nemesis of Tempest. He is the first lieutenant in Voss's army, armada, whatever you want to call it. And this is basically his own card. Causes damage to go up when Tempest is present, but he's kind of harmless as long as you can keep your HP up. Problem is, he is a nightmare to Unity. Luckily, he has low HP, so you can frag him kind of quickly. So, at long last, we can begin the game! So we're going to do Heroic Interception to block a lot of their damage. Superhuman Durability. That's no help, I'm afraid. Wow. So yeah. Calypso's out. Okay, we have some good news here. Utility belt, I'm going to use this to get the targeting computer out. We want this in play. And we're going to stealth. Got the mega computer, which we're probably not going to be able to play. As you may have guessed, utility belt is worthless until we, Okay, let's go back and change this up then. We're just going to do the stun bolt and we're going to hit friction with this so that we block her damage. So Unhealthy Speed, she's going to play a card anyway. If you notice, her cards have the keyword Surge instead of Burst. She plays very similar to Tachyon, where she can punish you for stuff. And she's just going to stack those up. This could be really bad. It could actually be game over already. That's basically her Yeah, this is her Lightspeed Barrage. I probably should have went for Team Leader, but oh well. This hand is completely worthless. We're going to do a quick Insight, give me Fleet of Foot, which I actually can't use. So we're going to throw this away, and we're going to throw away Sucker Punch. There's the Hypersonic, which I really need. That's going to come in handy for this coming turn. Last stop. And we have a really good card here. So this is going to burn Bunker, but it's worth it, I'd say. I don't have anything else to do. And then 4 damage across the board, 6 to Fright Train. Because of Nemesis plus his Engine of Destruction plus Galvanize. Now I actually should explain Proletariat real quick. This is going to get redirected because it's fire damage. So we are going to kill a clone here. Doesn't really matter which one, it's going to fry in a second. And now order doesn't matter. And I need to draw. Heavy plating, I was hoping for another. The ammo drop's going to be kind of nice, I guess. This is going to be painful, though. Oh, he's going to pull out 2 clones. So I want Wraith to take this because Absolute Zero is going to take more. Snap would be nice. The problem is there's a very slim chance it's actually going to get off. So I can pop a bunch of ongoings with this, which I'm kind of tempted to do. We're going to do a Fuel Freeze. We want to destroy this. The Speedy Sidestep. This is her Synaptic Interruption. I'm going to leave this up. I want to get rid of this and the genetically fused Physique. So I get to deal a lot of damage across the board. That's the end of her stolen gear. Now if I hit the clone first, I can actually hit Proletariat. Or, whoa, he has more clones, never mind. So yeah, order here doesn't matter anymore. This is going to kill the Impulsion Beam, which is just in time. Hypersonic will be going off after this. The thing is, I could... Yeah, it redirects multiple times, unfortunately. Isn't his Engine of Destruction still in play? Oh, the first damage, never mind. So yeah, I can kind of work on killing her. Onboard module installation, that's fine. Probably gonna play Cold Snap next turn. Entry point, so that goes away. Caspit's Playground. All hero ongoing cards are also equipment cards. That's not necessarily a good thing. Hopefully that doesn't screw us. Citizen Slash. So he's going to hit himself, but he's not going to heal anymore. This time I want Absolute Zero to take the hit. So Legacy is up. I can use Thok. That's going to give me a card draw, which is basically my... Like, right now I'm actually contemplating using the impromptu invention to get the throwing knives out instead of the targeting computer. So you know what? Let's punch him in the jaw. And then we're gonna galvanize. Where's my, Oh, that's right, she threw it away at the end because of Prattle. Never mind. Long con, each player discards a card she heals. Choose for me. Lead from the front is not going to help here. We can see all the Proletariats there. For hers, I don't need an extra stun bolt. Actually, I'd rather get rid of the eyepiece. It's no help here. Now, I'm going to get rid of a research grant. I don't have a burst card to throw away. We're going to get rid of this. I'll probably ammo drop on that turn. I'm going to get rid of the cold suit. Subtle diversion. So do I draw the computer here or no? Nope. Okay, I'll take the throwing knives. In play. And since the impulsion beam has been destroyed, I can play the utility belt and actually use 2 powers. So we want to hit this. Now she'll start damaging herself. We want to hit her for the Nemesis bonus. And I'm kind of tempted to go after the Baron. If you're curious, this is going to die to Hypersonic Assault, so I'm not too worried about it. Let's hit play. She has a lot of cards here. If she plays the right card, she can do some stuff. So she's going to damage herself here. I don't want to have to keep doing this. So I'm going to stun bolt her just so that I don't have to worry about that 1 damage. And it may save someone's life. So we want to hit Ermine. The shock dampener. Got the targeting computer, so we can play that next turn. Things are looking up for the Wraith. So, Tachyon's still going to take damage. Here we go. Hero target with the highest HP takes 3 melee damage, and she deals herself electric damage. But she's going to take reduced damage because of the stun roll. And now without her gear, she's not going to play an additional card. So right here we want to play Hypersonic, and order matters greatly. So hit this one first. And now order does not matter. And real quick, let me pull up our deck. It's a Blinding Surge. So destroy X hero ongoing cards where X is the number of surge cards in her trash. She has 6. If she pulls that, it's a wipe. Then you have another one of these where she deals 2 the highest X targets 2 lightning damage based off the number of surge cards. So that's already capped. We don't have to worry about that one. And believe it or not, I am going to sack this. I can actually use that next turn. So he can't hurt us. For Bunker, there's nothing I can do on his turn, so I'd rather work on a setup. We'll get the ammo drop out and draw. Got the maintenance unit. And back to talking. So unfortunately, all my ongoings are going to start dying. I need to read how this obsessive planning works. So Doc Tusser came out. He was able to hit us because he wasn't here to get hit by the hypersonic. Destroy 2 hero ongoings and or equipment cards. And if you destroy 2, then this is destroyed. If you don't, then it sticks around. So that kind of makes me want to focus Blade, but I can throw out other cards as sacrifices. Now the problem with the simulator is at the start of the environment turn, a villain target from the trash is going to come into play. I don't know if this means for each of them, but if it does, that's one of those things that just is going to end the game, because she can bring back her shock dampeners and stuff, and I don't have an answer to that. So let's try to take down Fright Train. If I'm lucky, I can take down Friction and Fright Train this turn. Danger Sense. This is pretty much the only room in the Freedom Tower that works against you. So... let's do Bunker. Heavy hitter. So, this puts it at the top of the deck. I'm just going to do ammo drop. Bunker's not going to do a damn thing this game. It's just luck of the draw, and this is the main weakness with the mode overall. So we have the computer out. We can hit her so that we can try to finish her off. She can't deal any damage this turn because of this hypersonic. We want to hit him so that he gets closer to dying. Tachyon might be able to finish him off. So for the stun bolt, I actually could down him right here and now. So, I can use the lightning reflexes to play 2 cards. The supersonic response is going to take down Friction. Then I can use the lightspeed barrage to potentially down Ermine. I just need to pull up her card real quick. When she goes down, I can live with that. We're going to try to take her out. Highbrow. These are going to go away when she goes down right here. So they can all deal damage now. So lightning reflexes. Good night. You can see Highbrow is now gone. Discard, and yes, she can. We're going to sack the research grant because it's not helping me here. Highest HP we're going to say is Legacy because I want the Nemesis penalty on Bunker. Now, is there something here that will... I could play this to stop the environment, but I think you guys are probably interested in seeing what all it does. So I'm going to do heavy plating and draw a card. Got my ammo drop back, and there's the decommissioned hardware. Overwhelm the mighty. Nice job. Second lowest HP we'll say is absolutely 0. And now here comes the fun part. So I'm going to play the Isothermic Transducer because I can use the Frostbound Drain next turn. And right here is a golden opportunity to hit Proletariat, but that will leave Baron Blade up, which kind of sucks. Got another Isothermic Transducer. Now, Blade, the card he has to put into play would be his Impulsion Beam. We do not... Actually, we could do Zhulong. Yeah, we're gonna do Zhulong. Dr. Stinston's secondary lab. Stinson, I want to say that's Tachyon's last name. Her first name I know is Meredith. So choose for me. Yep, we don't want Fortitude. There's no time to set up here. I want the Razor Ordnance. That's my new card. Nope, that's my other new card. Yep, we don't want Recharge Mode. Yep, we want to get rid of that. So we're going to sack Heavy Plating. And which one do I have a duplicate of? The Utility Belt? He has more than one Impulsion Beam? Then we want Absolute Zero to take the hit because of the Nemesis bonus. And sadly, I just destroyed the armor for Bunker where I could have blocked that. So I'm just going to play Durability because there's nothing else for Legacy to do at the moment. He has a crap hand, I'm afraid. I could have used that a little earlier. Choose for me. Oh crud, that got rid of those cards that I wanted. Oh well. So right here we can use the Utility Belt, and now we can only use one power, I believe, because of the Impulsion Beam. So I want to use this. Let's see, Tachyon has Hypersonic, so we can use that to kill Fright Train. He's gonna die anyway. I can set him up to die. I want to hit the Impulsion Beam just to take it out. Got the Trust Fund, which is no real help. Then I played the Durability to destroy it. Hypersonic. Order here doesn't matter. But there's going to be a lot of deaths here. Citizen Slash is down. Fright Train down. Proletariat down. Yes, I'm going to destroy that in hopes of getting something better. I can use that at least. Now we're going to damage ourselves. And that's where Legacy kind of hurts to have with you. Ammo drop, even though at this point it's not going to do anything. Heavy Plating. Recharge mode. I was hoping to get his guns out, but damn, Bunker's just been dead weight here. So Tachyon shuffled her, damn it. Here goes the Impulsion Beam. And there we go, the day is saved. So that's Vengeance mode. As I said, I'm not really a fan of it because it's just a damage rush mode. You don't really have any setup, there isn't really a strategy other than deal loads of damage to it. Now, at the moment there are currently only 5 villains, but in the Villains of the Multiverse expansion, something like 10 are added or something like that. And in case you're wondering who all is added, let me pull up the villain list. I think Citizen's Hammer and Anvil from Citizen Dawn's deck. The Operative. I think there's a normal version of Plague Rat. There's someone from Le Capitan's deck also, I believe. I think there's a Gladiator from Kargra's deck, but otherwise there are some of the other villains from various cards that you see. To give you an example, I need to pull up Tachyon. Show the cards. One of them is the Biomancer that you see here. But yeah, otherwise I'm kind of drawing a blank. Like I said, I'm not really interested in the mode, so I'm not going to play it very often. This is just a demonstration because the thing just came out, and I figure you guys are probably interested. And even if you don't want this particular expansion for Vengeance, or for the villains, I don't know if Choke Point's going to be added to this or if she's going to stay in a mini-pack, but you also have the environments that come with it, and the new heroes who are coming up in the next video. But anyway, that's it for now. I'm the Hero of Light.